Picture this, a massive dark entrance, 74 feet high, 250 feet wide, large enough to swallow a Boeing jet whole, carved into the frozen mountains of Antarctica. Steps leading down into absolute darkness, footprints in the ancient snow, and then, without warning, it vanishes, gone, as if it never existed. Years pass, it reappears, then disappears again. What lies beneath the ice of the most isolated continent on Earth? What secrets does Antarctica hide in its frozen depths? And why does this mysterious cave entrance keep appearing and vanishing like a phantom? The year was 2007. Someone scanning Google Earth noticed something impossible on King George Island, one of Antarctica's southernmost points. A colossal cave entrance, dark, foreboding, unnatural. The internet exploded with theories. A secret military base hidden beneath the ice, the entrance to an ancient underground city, the remains of a crashed spaceship buried for millennia. But here's what made it truly terrifying. When researchers looked at the base of this mountain, they saw what appeared to be steps, dark stone steps descending into the abyss. And stranger still, patterns in the snow that looked disturbingly like human footprints. Had someone entered this cave? Was someone still down there living in the frozen darkness? Then the cave disappeared, completely erased from satellite images. For years, nothing, until it suddenly reappeared, then vanished again. This cycle has continued for over 15 years. Scientists suggest it's simply snow melting and reforming, blown away by Antarctica's brutal winds, a natural phenomenon, nothing more. But those steps, those footprints, they make you wonder. Before we dive deeper into Antarctica's darkest mysteries, if you're fascinated by the unknown and the unexplained, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Drop a like if you're ready to explore the strangest discoveries on Earth. Share this with someone who loves a good mystery. Now let's continue our journey into the frozen unknown. Antarctica isn't just hiding cave entrances. In 2020, a Google Earth user discovered something that defied explanation. A massive object lying on its side, 100 miles off the Antarctic coast, 400 feet long, covered in ice and snow. It looked exactly like a cruise ship. You could see what appeared to be windows, a deck, a bridge, every detail of a passenger vessel frozen in time. But what would a ship be doing there, in the middle of a glacier, so far from any known shipping route? How did it arrive? Who commanded it? And most disturbing of all, what happened to everyone on board? Some claimed it wasn't a ship at all. They said it was a spacecraft. Others insisted it was a secret government facility, disguised and abandoned. The person who discovered it calculated its dimensions perfectly. 400 feet, the exact length of a passenger vessel. But Antarctica keeps its secrets well. No answers have been found. No expedition has reached it. The frozen ship remains, a ghost in the ice, surrounded by questions that may never be answered. Then there's the creature, the thing discovered in satellite images in 2016, floating off Antarctica's coast, 200 feet long, slightly shorter than 3 train cars placed end to end. It resembled a giant squid, tentacles spread across the dark water. A kraken from ancient legends, swimming through Antarctica's frozen depths. Imagine this massive creature gliding through the black water beneath the ice, dragging everything it encounters into the abyss. Some wondered if it could be Cthulhu itself, or one of its monstrous offspring, awakened from eons of sleep beneath the ice. The image was real. The object was there. But what was it? Antarctica reveals beauty in the strangest ways. Among endless white landscapes, one sight stops everyone who sees it, a waterfall that bleeds. For centuries, this cascade has painted snow bright crimson, flowing directly from a white iceberg. But it's not blood. The explanation is even more extraordinary. Millions of years ago, a small crystal-clear pond existed here. Then a glacier formed around it, sealing it completely. A thick barrier of ice and snow blocked all sunlight, heat, and oxygen. For millennia, the water remained trapped in this cold vacuum, isolated and from the world, until one day the water broke through. When this ancient salty water contacts oxygen, it transforms instantly. The iron concentration is so high that the water literally rusts, turning scarlet like fresh blood. This is the only place on Earth where you can witness such a phenomenon, a frozen time capsule bleeding into the present. But Antarctica's strangeness doesn't end with bleeding waterfalls. Deep in this frozen continent lies one of Earth's most lifeless places, the McMurdo Dry Valleys, a desert where it hasn't rained for millions of years, where it never snows, where winds reach 200 miles per hour, evaporating all moisture before it can settle. Despite the freezing temperatures, ice cannot form here. The wind is too fast, too dry, too relentless. Only a few lakes exist, prevented from freezing by extreme salt concentrations. The water is so salty that large life forms cannot survive. Yet scientists discovered microscopic organisms living near these lakes, creatures that have adapted to conditions so extreme they mirror the surface of Mars itself. Researchers and astronauts study the McMurdo Dry Valleys because they're the closest thing we have to another planet without leaving Earth. If life can exist here in these impossible conditions, then life could exist anywhere, even on Mars, even on the frozen moons of distant planets. Antarctica becomes our laboratory for understanding alien worlds. But beneath the ice, another world thrives. In 2022, scientists drilling through the Ross Ice Shelf made an astonishing discovery. Using special drilling equipment with hot water supply, they penetrated 1,640 feet down, more than the height of the Empire State Building. They lowered cameras into the darkness and witnessed something extraordinary. Thousands upon thousands of amphipods, crustacean animals similar to shrimp, swimming in every direction through hidden freshwater rivers and lakes beneath the ice. An entire ecosystem thriving in complete darkness, unknown to humanity until now. Antarctica's waters hide even stranger creatures, sea spiders, not related to land spiders at all, but marine arthropods that grow to terrifying sizes, as wide as dinner plates. Some have no eyes. Some have proboscises instead of jaws. They crawl through deep, cold waters on 8 powerful legs, barely studied because they live in places humans can barely reach. These creatures have survived in Antarctica's frozen depths for millions of years, evolving into forms we're only beginning to understand. The ice itself defies explanation. Striped icebergs float through Antarctic waters, displaying bands of blue, black, green, and turquoise. Each color tells a story. Green lines appear from algae trapped during freezing. Blue bands form when water freezes too quickly, compressing without air bubbles. Black and brown stripes come from sediment, picked up as glaciers scrape across bedrock. These icebergs are geological records, frozen history, drifting through the Southern Ocean. Then there's the pyramid. When internet users spotted a perfect pyramid shape rising from Antarctica's ice, conspiracy theories erupted immediately. An ancient Egyptian base, proof of lost civilizations, evidence of alien visitors. The truth, while less sensational, is no less fascinating. It's a nunatak, a mountain peak breaking through the ice sheet, part of the Ellsworth Mountains, a range stretching over 250 miles. Its pyramid shape is coincidental, formed by natural erosion and geological processes over millions of years. Mountains worldwide display similar shapes. The Matterhorn in the Alps, Mount Búlandstindur in Iceland. Nature creates pyramids without any help from ancient architects. But some discoveries are genuinely mysterious. Scientists using a submarine robot named RAN explored beneath a massive ice shelf and found something resembling the Grand Canyon. Ice mountains, valleys, flat plateaus, swirling patterns carved entirely from ice. The robot covered over 600 miles, transmitting incredible footage. Then it discovered something nobody could explain. Giant ball-shaped holes scooped into the ice, perfect spheres carved into the frozen ceiling of this underwater world. Scientists believe curious Weddell seals may have accidentally bumped the robot, causing it to malfunction, and shut down to save energy. They lost contact. Ran remains somewhere beneath the ice, silent and frozen, its final discoveries unknown. Another canyon was found purely by accident. During a storm, researchers at Casey Research Station couldn't continue their work. Instead of waiting, they decided to map the sea floor near Adams Glacier. They discovered a canyon almost 7,000 feet deep, 30,000 feet wide, stretching over 28 miles. They worked in waves up to 13 feet high, in powerful winds that threatened to destroy their equipment. But they persisted, capturing 15 hours of data. When another storm hit, they returned and mapped even more. This canyon helps scientists understand glacier history and how Antarctica's ice sheet interacts with the ocean. Lake Enigma holds perhaps the strangest discovery of all. For years, scientists believed this Antarctic lake was completely frozen solid. Then, an expedition drilled through the ice and discovered liquid water 40 feet deep. They sent cameras down and found microbial life thriving in complete isolation. Strange mats covering the lakebed, some thin and spiky, others crumpled like carpets. Small, tree-like shapes growing up to 16 inches tall. These microbes perform photosynthesis in near-total darkness, creating surprisingly high oxygen levels. Among them lives a microbe that typically requires low oxygen environments, somehow surviving here against all odds. Lake Enigma might mirror conditions on Jupiter's moon Europa or Saturn's moon Enceladus. Both have hidden oceans beneath frozen surfaces. If life exists in Lake Enigma under such extreme conditions, then life could exist on those distant moons as well. Antarctica becomes our testing ground for extraterrestrial biology. Scientists discovered something else extraordinary in Antarctica: tiny pieces of amber, the first ever found on this continent. Preserved in mudstone, these amber fragments prove that resin-producing trees once grew here, part of a lush rainforest that existed near the South Pole during the mid-Cretaceous period, millions of years ago. These trees survived months of total darkness during Antarctic winters, likely going dormant to endure the long night. The amber pieces are small but beautiful, displaying shades of yellow and orange with bumpy surfaces showing how resin flowed from ancient trees. This resin protected trees from insects, then was preserved when water quickly covered it, shielding it from sunlight and air. A scientist browsing satellite images found 4 new colonies of emperor penguins by searching for brown trails of penguin waste. These colonies likely existed for years, unnoticed. 3 are small, with fewer than 1,000 breeding penguins each. 1 colony was found near the Lazarev ice shelf, where a larger colony was thought to have gone extinct in 2019. The penguins hadn't vanished. They'd simply moved, adapting to changing sea ice conditions. Studying them helps us understand how emperor penguins survive environmental changes. 40 million years ago, a giant river system flowed through Antarctica. Researchers found proof by studying sediments and rocks from the frozen seabed, examining radioactive elements like uranium and lead. The deeper sediments dated from the age of dinosaurs. Newer layers revealed patterns like modern river deltas, similar to the Mississippi River or Rio Grande. They found microscopic signs of life preserved in the sand. This ancient river started in the trans-Antarctic mountains and traveled 930 miles before reaching the sea. Understanding this ancient river system helps scientists predict future weather patterns. Antarctica forces us to confront profound questions. What else lies hidden beneath miles of ice? What ancient secrets remain frozen in time, waiting to be discovered? What life forms have evolved in isolation, unknown to science? The cave entrance that appears and vanishes, the frozen ship in the glacier, the bleeding waterfall, the hidden canyons and mysterious lakes, sea spiders and striped icebergs, ancient forests and river systems. Each discovery reveals how little we truly know about our own planet. Antarctica is Earth's final frontier, more remote than any jungle, more mysterious than the deepest ocean, a continent that holds clues to our planet's past and possibly hints about life on other worlds. Every expedition uncovers something unexpected. Every satellite image reveals new mysteries. And somewhere beneath the ice, in the frozen darkness, secrets wait. Ancient, strange, unexplained. The frozen continent keeps its mysteries well, but slowly, one discovery at a time, we're learning to read the ice. To understand what Antarctica has hidden for millions of years. The question isn't whether more mysteries exist down there. The question is, what will we find next, and are we ready for the answers?